5, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? Kane and Jake in the new studio. We had to go upgrade you because you deserve it. I just lost my flow. Oh my God, we got to go.
I definitely thought when you said upgrade you, you're going to break out into the Beyonce song.
Time to let me upgrade.
That is a tune. Have you choreographed that before?
Like years ago.
I do that.
Don't think I could bring it back.
No?
Nah.
Bring it back.
All right.
With new choreo.
Yeah, new choreo, same song. Yeah, I'm not bringing out the old one. I remember that. I don't remember what I taught last week. Guys, that was really loud. Sorry. We're in a new studio.
New studio.
This is the Studio 2.0. This is AKA the Bat Cave. What is the Bat Cave?
Don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll come up with a name for it. The Hub. The Hub is a dance studio.
Yeah.
Dope dance studio. Shout out to you because the receptionist listens. What up, receptionist? Can't remember your name, but hey. I'm stuck with names, man.
Dude, I'm so bad at names.
Do you know who's the king of remembering names?
Hit me.
John Graham.
Really?
It meets you once, remembers your name forever. I never know how he does it.
There's a real trick for it. Like, I remember listening to an actual podcast in this, and if you hear a name, you should try and visualize something that attaches to it.
Oh, really? I was told that. Like, say I meet you, I'd be like, "Hey, so what's your name?"
Sorry, Jake.
Oh, hi, Jake. Where'd you come from?
Use your name straight away.
You use your name three times, and then it'll cement. That does not work for me because normally I go, "What's your name?"
And I forget
and you say Jake, and I did not listen to a word you just said.
That's the exact issue I have.
My brain is so busy going, "Oh, look at his shoes!" Like
that motherfucker's wearing Skechers.
Like. Then it doesn't matter your name. Your name is Sketcher Boy.
You're Sketcher Boy.
Did you see the post I put up yesterday when it was like, who's overcharging for sketches or some shit like that? And it was like a Balenciaga.
No.
I don't even know if that was the post, but basically Balenciagas and Skechers are shit. That's what I'm going for. Welcome to the Ins and Outs podcast, where we wear Jordans. Where are you going?
Get my coffee.
All right. So it is 12:15, starting a little later today because we were basically waiting for these nice mic stands that if you're listening you can't see to be delivered.
If you are listening, go check us out on YouTube, bitch.
Come watch on YouTube, subscribe. We're on 94 subscribers. I'd love to reach 100. When we get to 100, I'll release a free dance tutorial. Chapow. So we're late start today because we were finishing off the final touches to setting up the studio, aka waiting for DPD to deliver mic stands for our microphones.
I went for breakfast.
Jake was like, we can just hold the mics. And I was like, no. Not happening.
Not in the new studio.
So in
Bat Cave.
In the Bat Cave. This doesn't feel right.
Fit.
No, I don't feel like Batman and Robin.
I'm definitely Batman. I'm just getting in there before you do.
All right. Cool. If Batman was Asian. So anyway, new studio. Very exciting. Hope you guys like the look of it. When we chose this, when we were coming up with having a podcast studio, what's wrong? You didn't like your hat?
No, I'm not feeling it today.
All right. Your hair doesn't look better. Just so you know.
I haven't even looked at my hair yet, so
maybe don't.
Wow.
Good thing that people are
guys, this is what I put
watching.
Up with.
Shut up.
Can you imagine working
anyway,
for Kane?
I'm telling the story, bro. Don't be so rude, interrupting me. God, you've got no manners. And now you're throwing shit. You're a disgrace.
Go on, carry on.
You're a disgrace to the human race.
Do you want to tell your story?
Wash your face. So anyway,
when we were coming up with this lovely weekend.
Shut up. When we were coming up with having a podcast studio, Jake wanted to use this one, or the option was the old studio, and I was like, let's use the old studio. Twos. We did it there for however long we've been there, and then we changed our mind and tried here. And don't know about you guys, but I prefer it already.
Mm-hmm.
So Jake was right, I was wrong. Moral of the story?
Jake's always right.
Yeah. So life has been good. It's been a lovely week since last week. Have you done anything fun?
Busy.
No. So
I never break my week down if I was going busy.
Yeah. So what is such a busy week for you besides like just working and filming and editing?
I think because I've got so many jobs.
Hey, what do you do for fun?
Work. I enjoy all my work. Like I literally work from probably 7-8 in the morning until 10 o'clock at night.
Nice.
Because I just it's not work.
Yeah.
It's just my life.
Fair play. Yeah. So what do you do to like de-stress, to let down? Take a day off. You did have a day off this week. You had Sunday off.
So that's my first day off in probably 3 weeks, whatever. It's like full day off. Yeah. I did fuck all. I played some computer games. So I try and I need something to distract me.
What computer games do you play?
League of Legends.
What's that?
It's like a 5v5 arena style game. It's like a massive competitive. There's billions of pounds in the esport
Yeah.
of it.
Bet loads of virgins play it.
Oh yeah, I'm one of them. But no, so I need something to like take my mind away from thinking, because I'll straight away just work. I went for a gym session. I don't know, just ate food, chilled.
Fair play.
It
Good week then.
was a lovely week.
Busy, but
Busy.
a nice day off. You deserve
Yeah.
a day off. My week was, what did we do last week? We did the program, and Tuesday we did here. Wednesday, I don't know what I did. To be honest, I don't even know my week last week. I want to say it was busy, but it really wasn't. It was, but not with work stuff. I taught on Friday, taught on Saturday morning, and then I went to London with the Famalam.
What did you do in London?
I went up the Shard.
Oh yeah, I saw you in some high out the photo.
Yeah, it's dope.
I've never been. Is it good?
It's like 30 or 40 pounds to go to like the top, or you can go to the 52nd floor and just eat and drink. Obviously, you're not eating and drinking for free, but like you can just go there and buy a Coca-Cola for £5, and then like, yeah,
So you said you pay how much to get to the top?
like 30 or 40 quid.
And you're there.
You just get to view it.
Right, so there's no actual like entertainment value apart from the view.
Yeah, you're going flaccid over there.
I've gone flaccid. It's always my mic.
It is always your mic. How about you just be better?
I'm trying.
There you go. Yeah, so you pay 30, 40 quid, you just go to top, like to the high rise, take photos, viewing and that. But you can go to the restaurant on the 52nd floor, which was high enough. Let's just say that. Can't imagine me going much higher. But it was dope. The view was amazing. Definitely worth going. I didn't eat. We just spent it was me, Georgia, her mum and her dad and her niece. Mm-hmm. So we just went up, had some drinks, just took in the view, kind of an experience, lovely. And then I drove to Bolton Sunday afternoon / night, and oh my God, it was the longest drive in the world. But I listened to a 4.5-hour podcast on the way, which was dope. And then stayed in Bolton White's football ground hotel.
Nice.
In Bolton football team's hotel. It was quite run down, but the bed was lovely, breakfast was nice. It was like a ghost town.
Really?
Yeah, and then I taught 2 hours on the Sunday morning and drove home for 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours.
Yeah, rough drive on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And then went out for a nice Valentine's meal.
Nice.
With my fiance.
I saw a photo of you in front of like a balloon arch.
That was at the Shard.
That was at the Shard, right?
And then on the wall, but I didn't post that. Georgia did. I refused to post it, not because I don't love her, but because the quote on the background says "All of me loves all of you," and that was the song that was played at my brother's funeral. So those quotes don't relate to nice things for me.
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, yeah, that doesn't bring back a good time.
It's funny how songs can do that.
Dude, that song plays and I literally have like a baby meltdown inside.
Yeah,
it's the connection of music. But speaking of music, the Super Bowl.
I've got a lot to say on this one.
The halftime show. Oh, okay, go on then.
I'll let you go.
I'll
pump in after.
Fucking dope. Like, I loved it. Shout out to Fatima and all the people in charge of making it happen and putting it together, and then also a massive shout out to Taja fucking Riley for making sure everyone got paid, because there was loads of people who weren't getting paid, and we've not spoke about it on the podcast, but
We put it up, didn't we?
yeah, maybe we didn't go in. I didn't go in and give my full 50p because I don't want to get
cancelled
or not hired by people again. But fit, Taja, good for you. You fought the right fight. You made sure everyone got paid. I don't know if they got paid where they should have got paid, but they definitely got paid instead of not getting paid. But I thought it was dope. Dr. Dre was epic, although he does look like he is a 50-something-year-old man who's reliving his youth. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he didn't have that like hip hop edge feel to him. Like, he just looked like a content guy who's having a good time. And he was smiling. I'm like, when have you ever seen him smile? Like, it was dope. Snoop Dogg I feel like Snoop Dogg's not changed since like,
Snoop is literally
like over like 25 years or whatever. Like, he's not changed. He still had pajamas on.
And 50s, wham. He was so big.
Yeah, he was out of breath though.
But like, he looks huge. Like,
yeah, he does. I spoke to Shane, my friend, this morning, and I said, 50 Cent, his name is 50. He wanted to pretend he was still 30. But he rapped like he was 60. Maths. Numbers. He was out of breath real quick. But if he was hanging upside down that whole time.
Yeah.
And then he did a funny Instagram meme. He's been doing loads because he's a troll. But he did a funny Instagram meme of, the fat guy from D12.
Right.
The one who wears a nappy on his, not a nappy on his head, the like what shower cap on his head.
Yeah.
He had a photo of him hanging upside down, like, and he was like pretending it was him. It was quite funny, but I loved it. The only thing I could have done without is controversial Kendrick Lamar.
Do you know what? I thought the Kendrick Lamar section had the best choreo. Because whilst the steps were so basic, what I liked about it is they choreographed it from a bird's eye view. Because a lot of the audience in the Super Bowl would have been from like a bird's eye view.
From up above.
From up above. Not a bird's eye, but like a higher
view.
angle.
It was cool. I just don't love his music.
Right.
And I'm listening to like old school hip hop legends.
And then Kendrick comes out.
And then we've got a modern day legend.
Yeah.
Like in that,
okay, in
which
that
is
context.
which is like, I don't know. He's dope. It's not my cup of tea, but I appreciate the art. But I just was like, get more people of that era. Like I would have loved like Ice Cube there.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? I know
Ice Cube would have been so
like,
he
you know
would
what I
have,
mean?
he would have fit perfectly actually.
Like something like that fits in with that era of music as opposed to someone modern.
Do you reckon they did that on purpose?
Well,
To bring in like it's almost like passing the crown on.
Yeah, but isn't Kendrick Lamar signed by Dr. Dre or some shit? I don't know. This is me guessing.
Maybe
So
it's like
I'm
a
an
bit more
idiot and I
political.
have no idea. But that's my guess.
Maybe it's a little bit more political
Yeah.
in that sense.
It was still cool. I was just
Yeah.
like, everything. I was like, yo, this tune, this makes me feel like 10, 15 years ago. And then that one come on, I was like, cool. But I like the visual aspect was dope.
I didn't think it was out of place.
No.
I can definitely see
The
like
boxes was cool. How they come up the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
boxes. Really cool. But to me, you think that was the best choreo?
from a visually it was a bit more visually. Again, the only thing I liked about it was that it was a different take. It wasn't like a 2-dimensional choreo. In terms of like positioning, it was because it was bird's eye. That's just what attacked me. Again, I don't think the actual steps were like that interesting.
Yeah.
But I like the fact they were doing like weird transitions.
Yeah,
from
I
one to
liked the best bit for me was everyone coming on at the end doing like the crip walk.
Right, yeah.
And
yeah.
like all the old school West Coast steps. I liked that bit. That was super fresh. And they're all in like the Dickie style costumes, like the top and trousers was super dope.
But what did you think about the choreo as a whole? Like, I would have loved to seen a proper like dance breakdown section where they really highlighted the
I just think that doesn't match the era of music of what it is. Like back then, they never had like dance
social
breaks
dances.
and like it was all parties and social steps and you know.
But I don't feel like it hit this. I don't think it hit that part either. For me, like I saw some like foundation steps or whatever, but it didn't feel quite.
Well, they had like the
enough.
dancers for the Mary J. Blige bit. Like they had dancers in there and they did like cool choreo. Like it was dope. Like for me, it was one of my favorite Super Bowls ever.
Right.
And Justin is my favorite one, but that's because obviously I'm a super Justin fan, and I know that's most people's maybe not their favorite, but like it's mine because I love Justin. Do you know what I mean? Like if I could do any of the Super Bowls, that would be my dream one to do, but this one would be second.
Gotcha.
Even though like steps wise, it wouldn't be like maybe the most where I would get to dance and excel. Like compared to like the J-Lo one, like that was very dancey, or the Madonna one. If you're one of the breakers, like they're very dancey. Whereas this one, for me, it's the music. Like I'm musically driven first. So like the Justin music and this music are my two favorites. I thought it was dope, man.
I liked it. Again, I wish there was just a little bit more spice in the dancing.
I think also watching it, I can imagine watching it at the Super Bowl wouldn't be very exciting because so much was happening in those little rooms, like for the camera. You know what I mean? Like if you're behind the stage, you don't see 50 Cent.
No, that's what I was thinking.
Because he's in the club.
Yeah.
He's in the club. Because he's in the club.
But like, if you were on the backside of it, like it wasn't angled towards them at all.
No, not at all. It's a TV production, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it's not for the stadium. Whereas like I feel like Justin and Bruno Mars and some of the other ones were more generated for both.
Yeah.
Whereas this one was kind of just for that.
That way and that way only.
But yo, sick. I loved it. And again, shout out Fatima and all her team for putting on a great performance, and shout out to Taja for making sure everyone got paid. Shout out to everyone involved. It was really nice. I really love watching stuff and seeing like my friends or old friends or acquaintances, whatever you want to call it, like doing well and doing what they love. Like I saw James Marino on there and it made me so happy. Like I saw Michael Wilson, like I saw Karan Lin, like people that I used to like interact with on a regular. And I'm like, yo, you're dancing at the Super Bowl, man. Like this is dope. Cool. It's really nice. I was jealous. Really jealous.
Really jealous.
I was sat there watching it thinking, fuck, if I lived in LA.
I'd be there.
Probably not. But I would
You
love
think?
to. I don't know. But I would love to have tried to be there.
Why
Just
did-
the opportunity to try and be there.
You could have got there.
Well, I
I
know.
believe in
We'll
you.
see. But hey, it was dope. I really enjoyed it. So what did you it was just the choreo that you felt
Yeah,
like was
I just would have
lacking?
liked like a bit more oomph in the choreo,
Mm.
but that's about it.
Yeah. Fair.
I'm not slating it for the record.
I'm
Like,
telling Fatima.
this guy who knows nothing about dance is slagging you off.
But that's a good perspective because it's not you know nothing about dance. You do know about dance, but just not maybe as a deeper insight as like
You.
professional dancers.
Yeah.
But it's good that you have opinion because essentially, if you think like they're catering to you, not me.
True. But I am, like, again, I know enough about dance to
Have a valid opinion.
watch it from a dancer's perspective.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it was cool. So I love that. And yeah, that's kind of what's been popping for me. Nothing else really.
Anything else to update on?
No.
Nothing.
And that's the end of the episode, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We've got some questions, so we're not doing a topic of the week this week.
I'm sure we'll end up going on some massive detour.
Shock. I put online, anyone have some questions they want answered, and we had quite a few responses. Some of them aren't necessarily questions, they're topics to talk about, so we might dive into them briefly, not too deeply, but we shall see. So, are you ready, Jacob? The first question from els.an. 4 years out because of health 4 years out because of health issues. Want to bounce back, but honestly terrified. Advice. My first thing is, please can you structure a question and not just write a sentence. But I can make a question of this. 4 years out and terrified to bounce back. Advice. Take your time. Don't set expectations. Don't set like a super high standard expecting to come back and be like you were before you had time off. You know, like it's not a race. Like something is better than nothing. If you just say, right, this week I'm going to do half hour of dance or an hour of dance, whatever you feel like is achievable and not going to feel like pressure or strenuous, start with that and slowly work your way up.
And I think identify what you're fearful of, because if you actually go down the rabbit hole of what you're scared of, a question that I often do with like clients and like life coaching and PT is I always go, what then? What then? So if you go, oh, I'm fearful of being embarrassed because I got a step wrong. Okay, what then? What happens next? And then when you get to the end, you go, oh, nothing actually really happens and I'm fine.
So it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. It's like really get to the grassroots of like what you're scared of and then identify that what you're scared of probably isn't actually that big of a deal in the first place. Like if you're terrified of a dance class, like what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
What's something that you always say in class?
Well, what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
Like you're not going to die.
You're not going to die. Exactly.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. My mum always used to say to me, if I've stayed on here before, like could be worse, could be down the mines. And I go, fair play, I'll just crack on with it then. I'll go and teach that class I don't want to do, or like I'll go do that job I don't want to do.
But yeah, I think identify what you're fearful of.
Yeah, and overcome it. And actually, I think if you're afraid of it and you overcome it, it's only going to make a positive domino effect that you're going to keep wanting to overcome it. And that's why I kind of said start small. Don't set yourself up for failure by going, I've not danced for 4 years, I'm going to take 3 classes this week. Like, that's a huge jump. Just do 1 and conquer that. And then the next week, if you feel up for it, try and conquer 2. Like, slow and steady wins the race. And making sure that you're having positive effect on yourself. Positive reinforcement, not a negative effect. Don't make it like, oh, I did 3 and I was rubbish in 2 of them. Well, because that means
actually I killed 2 8s, so that's 6 combo.
Yeah, like
you know what I mean.
you want to make it so like you feel good about yourself, and then you're gonna start wanting to do more. Because as soon as you like, it's like when people go, I want to get fit, and they go from not exercising at all to going, I'm gonna run a mile a day. I'm like, well, how about you just try a mile once? Like, and see how that feels.
See how that goes.
Before you set yourself up for every day, and on day 3 you quit.
I brought this up on the podcast before, I think, is there's loads of like psychological and neuroscience surrounding small wins, and that if you find a small win in everything that you do, it's much easier to get up and do the same thing the next day. Like finding a small win and rewarding yourself for it releases like a dopamine hit, which then allows you to, which kind of tricks your brain into going, oh, I actually like this. So, for example, if you go to a class and it's a 8/8 combo and you kill 4 8s out of it, and you reward yourself for the 4 8s that you killed rather than the other 4 8s that you messed up, then you're more likely to get up and do it again because you're congratulating yourself emotionally for the bit that you did well.
Yeah, I hope that kind of helps. I don't really think we need to. I don't. No one really can't really go much deeper without knowing what the fear is,
What the fear
and help
is.
and stuff like that. But yeah, one bit at a time, step by step. Like Dory says, just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
That gets brought up on every episode, and my quote of when you point one finger, 3 point back at you. They always come up in every episode.
Because they're so good.
Yeah.
Shut up. Jess M14 just said self-love. Advice on self-love.
I'm just laughing at what we said
What? I didn't say anything.
pre-episode.
Well, now you have to tell them the joke,
Nope,
don't you? Because
I'm
now
good.
people have got FOMO.
Nope.
Go on.
No, I'm good.
Jake said make sure your left hand is numb. Self-love. Do stuff that makes you feel good. Do stuff that makes you perform better. So if getting wankered and shit-faced drunk every night makes you feel good, that's probably not going to help you the next day. It's only going to make you feel good temporarily. Do things that have a long-lasting effect on you feeling good, whether that be go for a walk, meditating, doing yoga, drinking water, eating healthy. These things are all self-love.
Do I have anything to add to that?
Left hand.
No, maybe. On a Friday night. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. This one's not being used as a reel, that's for sure. Go on.
No, again, I think things that you enjoy, and also, again, going back to like reward yourself like emotionally for things that you did well that week.
Yeah.
Like show gratitude to what you've done.
Nice. Next is _EMXLY Rose.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to say Emily Rose. I would click on your profile, but I've just screenshot the questions. Question is how to stand out from the rest of the crowd. Ooh. Context is everything. In what way? I'm assuming you mean within dance. And let's say you're talking about in class. Just be better than everyone. Like
Work harder.
Be better. Be more present. Be in the front of the room. Ask questions, but only when they're valid and if they're, kind of well thought of. I always think asking questions is a good thing, but asking a question which is a valid... I know people say there's no such thing as dumb questions, but there is. Like, depending on what level of a dancer you're at. If you're a beginner, there's no dumb questions. But if you're an advanced dancer or an intermediate dancer, there are dumb questions. If it's just like, what's that right arm on that step? After you've been shown 20 times, that might be a dumb question. But, a good one might be like, what's the dynamic of getting from A to B in this position? Like something which isn't about necessarily the move or the step, but it might be about the journey or the intention behind the move or the step. Like ask a good question. If it's an audition, obviously like what you wear, how you present yourself. It's kind of a vague question, how to stand out. You don't really know what environment you're talking about, but I mean...
I think out of life, I always imagine it in this way is 99% of the people probably aren't living the life that you're working towards. So if you're doing the same as the 99%, you're probably doing something wrong.
Yeah, nice. I had a workshop the other week and I was telling everyone about being memorable. You have to be memorable. Like, so to stand out, like, first of all, stand out is one thing, but then you want to be memorable for good reasons. You want to be like, oh, who's that like roasty ginger kid in the corner that had a cool hat on or like had cool shoes on? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what makes you memorable? And
I think we touched on this earlier when we were having breakfast. It's like, how do you treat people will make you memorable. Like, for example, we were talking about, like, from a more of a business perspective, but, like, when people use our brands or our companies, what impact are you leaving on them? Do you know what I mean? Like, well, can we bring it up about how you treat, like, teachers that you bring in?
Of course. So
you always take your teachers out for food.
Or
offer to. You pay for their travel. You make sure they have a nice experience.
Make sure they're paid well.
And, wage that matches their capability.
Their value.
Standard
or what they value themselves.
And that leaves, or will likely leave a lasting effect of how that person will perceive you and your company and you as a brand. So, like, for me, like, I always make sure I treat people with his utmost respect and kindness. And I always go above and beyond what's expected of me. And to me, that's what makes me memorable for people that I work with,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Which will make you stand out.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you say thank you at the end of class, like if there's 50 people and only 5 say thank you, I'm more likely to remember that 5 people. Or,
100%.
you know, don't be afraid to come and ask for feedback if you feel like it's, you know, if you've been in a position to be watched, if you've been stood at the front of class, maybe you've asked a question like in the class, and then you go up to the teacher at the end and say, thank you so much for a great time. If you have any feedback, it'd be truly appreciated. Things like that can make you stand out. But otherwise, I'd just say show that your work ethic is on point. Show that you're trying. Show that you're open and willing to learn. And be dope.
And be dope.
And be dope. Roast thy neighbor.
I've just messed up my mic again.
Same person. Different question. How do you find your confidence as a performer? That's quite hard. I think we spoke about it before on another podcast, but for me, it's knowing in my ability and knowing that I've put in the work. If I know that I've put in the work, I know that I'm confident to do it. If I go into a contemporary class, do I have confidence doing it? No. Why? Because I haven't put in the work. Because I don't feel like I'm up to the level that I should be to be performing maybe contemporary or taking a contemporary class. Or if you said you've got to go on stage doing contemporary tomorrow for a job at the O2, am I going to feel comfortable? No, because I haven't put in the work. But if you said Jay Ravel is choreographing this number tomorrow at the O2 Arena, you've got to learn 2 numbers and perform it, am I going to feel comfortable? I mean, depending on what the exact choreo is and how difficult it is, but I know that I'm going to probably be able to execute it to a high level. And I've put in the work to be able to be that kind of dancer that can do it under that pressure. So I feel confident in that sense. If you mean build confidence as in confidence is how you perform whilst dancing, act. Even if you're not confident, don't show me you're not. Like, if you don't believe in you, no one else is going to believe in you. I think confident people are more successful than unconfident people. So you have to find out how you're going to feel comfortable and how you're going to feel confident. And some people, it's down to how they look. Like, I feel more confident if I wear a hat.
Yeah.
If I've got a hat on, I'm way more confident than if I'm not. If I like my outfit, I'm way more confident than if I'm not. If I've got shoes on I like, I'm way more confident than if I'm not. If I'm going to dance and I've got a baggy t-shirt on, I feel more confident than having a tight t-shirt on. They're all different things. But I'm also then confident if you say take your top off. Like, there are all things that I've put the work in or that I'm used to doing. Do you know what I mean? I'm used to dancing with a hat on, so I feel confident in that way. So if you say take my hat off, I'm not unconfident, but I'm less confident because I dance with a hat on every day. So I just think it's about normalizing whatever scenario you need to feel confident in and just keep doing it. Otherwise, fake it. Act. Yeah.
I've got nothing to say on this one.
Oh.
This is definitely not my topic.
Well, I
would say, like, or confidence as a whole is continually put yourself in positions where you feel uncomfortable and incompetent.
And overcoming.
Overcoming, because you'll start to build up a profile that you can walk into situations and walk away, quote, winning.
Yeah.
Even if it's not dance related, like rock climbing scares you, go do rock climbing.
Yeah,
because you'll start to build up confidence that you can
overcome things.
Like, something that's always in my mind, which I use all the time, is like, I can walk into 9 out of 10 situations and probably make a good thing out of that situation, regardless of where I'm at, because I'm confident in my ability to work it out as I go.
Yeah.
Which is something that you're really good at as well.
Yeah, to a degree. As long as I know I've put in the work. Like my Barbie audition that we spoke about the other week. Like, was I confident? Fuck no. As soon as I saw her no shoes on, I was like, oh my goodness. But I couldn't show her that I wasn't confident.
Listen to the previous episode if you want to know the reference.
Previous? One before?
Maybe 2 before. I can't remember.
I don't know. But I had to show that. I had to fake it. I couldn't tell him I wasn't confident. As soon as I saw her no shoes on, I was like, I'm going down.
But you found confidence in other things. Like, for example, you said in the previous episode, you were confident about how you looked.
Yeah.
You were confident that like, whilst your
there are other
technicalities weren't high, your average was probably fairly decent.
Yeah, I have other attributes that I can depend on.
Yeah.
They didn't work, but but yeah. Yeah, good question though. Ellie Smith _ Hi Ellie. Advice on weightlifting and benefits.
Oh, let's
for
go.
For performers, I guess.
Yeah.
Because for anyone in general, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. For dancers, though, or performers, I think it's more specific. And your weight training and lifting, or whatever you want to call it, has to be more specifically catered to what you're trying to achieve.
And also, at what time frame you're doing it. If you're in a show and you're prepping for rehearsals, you know, and you're dancing for 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, you probably don't want to weightlift.
One day a week, maybe for 20 minutes,
And
but not even weightlift to like build strength and muscle, but just to like rehab. But like for me, like if we just look at the benefits overall for humans, right, for weight training, first of all, your heart benefits are through the roof, because you know it's going to build your heart rate. It's going to be good for your heart. It's going to give you stronger bones, stronger ligaments, stronger muscles.
Massive reduction of injury risk.
Massive reduction of injury risk. But all of those only happen if you're doing it correctly.
Yeah.
If you're doing it wrong, all of those are at risk. But if you're doing it correctly, you can make all of these things better for you. And as dancers, these are all things we need to have, right? Stronger ligaments, stronger tendons, stronger muscles, stronger joints, injury-free, right? So if you do it correctly, then it can be very, very, very beneficial. I think it can make you more explosive. As a dancer, we want to be able to jump as high as we can. We can get good at that via weight training, not just jumping. We can use weight training as a supplement or a tool to make us a little bit better at that.
And help with like weight transfers, everything.
Literally,
Like
it's endless.
Literally endless.
But also, there is a huge detriment to weight training for dancers, because what I notice, as especially teaching younger males, not so much females, because you don't build muscle. Like none of you are gonna look like wham muscly people, so it's not the same because your testosterone isn't high, I hope. But like for young males, like normally they have higher testosterone, so they're more able to build muscle. The downside to that is that can have a negative impact on the quality of your dance movement. And that was a huge factor with me. So when I was in Dream Boys, and even before that, I really got into weight training because it made me feel good about myself. It made me feel confident with how I looked. It made me feel healthier. It made me feel like I'd accomplished things. It released lots of positive endorphins in my body. The downside is I did it way too much. I lifted way too heavy, and I ended up weight training way more than I actually dance trained. Well, that means then my weight training is going to become better than my dancing. Like, I think you have to be able to find the balance of, if I want to be a professional dancer, I need to know that my training or my energy or my output, all that isn't going into weight training, because that means I've got nothing left for my dance training. You need to balance it. And what I think is the perfect, say a full-time dancer or a full-time college dancer, is to do, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be weight training, but just resistance training, whether that be with weight, bands, or body weight. If you can get a good routine and do it 3 times a week, and then you dance the rest of the week, and your resistance training can literally last you half an hour. Like, you don't have to go and do 2 hours and be sweating and lifting all the heaviest shit. It's just to reinforce like your knees, your ankles, to give you strong hips and glutes, like nice strong back. It's more for injury prevention than it is for strength training.
Yeah, I definitely agree. If you're in like heavy dance mode, like if you're out of college and you're doing 2 rehearsals a month or whatever, not rehearsals, auditions a month, you can go a lot heavier and a lot more consistent. But I wouldn't go ham on resistance training. I would definitely add it into it. But if you're on college
to me, it's a
whatever,
vital tool to be used.
Oh, 100%.
But not for looking good, for performing good. And that's another thing I think people make the mistake of, is that they start weight training or doing resistance training to look good.
They're cranking out
But
bicep curls
just
and
because you
tricep
look,
extensions.
just because you look good doesn't mean it's going to benefit your movement. I think if you train to perform good, you train for health and you train for performance, looking good will be a byproduct of those things. Whereas if you just train to look good, that doesn't mean you're going to perform good. So if you're there just doing side lateral raises or like tricep extensions or a seated leg curl, like the carry across to you being a better dancer is so thin.
Like every exercise you choose as a dancer should be compound.
Yeah.
Like
I love doing like single leg squats.
Yeah.
Because I have to stabilize my knee and my ankle. I have to use balance and I have to use mobility.
One leg RDLs as well.
Like-
Would be massive for a dancer.
Yeah, like squat and press with a kettlebell, full body, gets me from down to up. It's explosive. I don't do 100 of them. I do 5 and then I wait for 3 minutes and then I do 5 again. It's not about have beaten my body down to a point where I'm exhausted. Like I rarely leave the gym like not being able to walk or being in pain or being sweating because I've had an amazing cardio workout. I leave going, I feel good. I could go and dance right now. That's a good workout. That's the sign of a good workout. I think if you leave the gym sore, that's a sign that you've done too much. And it's missold
For
to
dancer
us.
specific, I think.
Well, for most people, that's a sign that you've done too much because your whole point is you want to get your body to adapt to the stress it's in. Yes, you have to increase the stress, but you don't want to do it to a point like, what's the point in you going and doing a leg day, which people love doing a leg day, got DOMs, and then not being able to walk for 3 days? Well, now you're a detriment to yourself because now you can't practice that skill. You can't dance. Like if you treat weight training like a skill, and we're back in, we had a little camera issue, but we're back, baby. So if you treat your training like a skill and you think I want to get better at that skill, whether it be I want to be better at my piston squat, I want to be better at my deadlift, I want to be better at my box jump, and not treat it as in I need to be sore and not be able to move tomorrow, it'll be more beneficial for you because what's the point in lifting as much as you can and then not being able to walk for 3 days? That means you can't practice that exercise. That means you can't practice the thing that you want to be good at, which is dance or performing. It's just a detriment to you.
I think just to kind of give a final comment on that is go speak to a proper coach. Like, don't go in there willy-nilly and start using the machines because you probably won't have the proper technique, etc. Like, it's worth spending that amount of money for like 1 to 3 PT sessions, get a quick education, and then go off.
But also, then
I am a PT, so I'm biased, but like I know I can greatly increase someone's consistency and probability to have success in the gym if I just have 1 to 3 hours.
But I can argue that. So like I see PTs at like your fucking Pure Gym who just go and get a qualification and they go, right, here's the workout I like giving people, and they're not specifically catering that training to your needs. They're just going, oh, you want to get like their brain just goes, oh, you want to get shredded, let's make you sweat, let's make you do this, whereas that's not your goal, that's not your intention. So actually go and get a PT, but do a research on what PT you're getting. Can they be specific to what you need?
In fact, if you do want advice, contact me. I've worked with lots of dancers, lots of athletes. I do it as a job. So get in contact with me if you want
it. Don't just go to your local gym and grab the guy whose photo's on the wall, because that doesn't mean he knows how to cater you. He's just sat an exam and passed the test.
School's finest. There are a lot of shit PTs out there, but also a lot of very good PTs out there.
Yeah. In fact, I know more than most PTs. So, yeah. Facts.
Next question.
Facts. And I lift more than you. Shut up.
Rude. You've been bullying me lately on this podcast. You know that, right?
Yeah, get over it.
Wow. He's never like this. When we go out for breakfast, he always offers to pay.
Didn't today. You paid today.
I paid today.
Thanks.
Here's a totally random one. So I was listening to the radio yesterday, very rare. And it was obviously it's Valentine's Day. And the question was, would you ever, like, is it okay to buy your dance husband or your work husband or your work wife a Valentine's Day gift? I never knew there was a work husband or work wife culture.
So does that mean you're my work husband?
Yeah, probably. But like, do you think you should be able to do that? I was like, I've never heard of a work husband or work wife.
Well, I think that is absolute dog crap. But what is Galentine's?
A girl's Valentine's. It's like a girly night out. I think. This is new to me. I heard this yesterday.
I saw people posting happy Galentine's and I was like...
What is it?
What?
Yeah. I think it's like a girl day. Like, we're single. We don't need no man.
Let's not pretend that that's what you want. You know what I mean? But hey ho. Whatever makes you feel good. Next question. Lives Wine? Don't know if that's how I say it. How to get the best out of your training? Good question. Make sure you're not doing it to a point where you feel fatigued. Make sure you're investing in training which benefits your goals. So let's say you want to be in musical theatre and you want to be an ensemble. Make sure the training you are doing is benefiting that. So maybe you don't need to go and do a crump class because that might not help you reach that goal. It might. I'm sure there'll be a tiny bit of carryover and a little bit of help, but you might be better off going and doing a musical theatre jazz class. So just make sure that whatever you're trying to achieve your training is aiming you in the right direction. So my goal was always to be a working commercial dancer. Therefore, my training was who is doing the jobs I want to do. Oh, look, it's Cisco, it's Kimberly Taylor, it's Anthony Kay, it's Sean Niles, it's John Graham, it's Emma Walsh. Okay, do they teach? Yes, they do. I should probably go and learn from them. And if they don't, who did they learn from or who taught them? And then I would go and learn from them. I don't even know if I've answered the question.
Yeah. How do you...
How'd you get the best of it? So that's what I would do. Set up a structure, set up a training.
Structure's a good one.
Structure's a great one, because otherwise I feel like when people make the choice on the day, you're always going to find a reason not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that reason will always feel better than the reason to do it.
I think, like, kind of loosely, success is created from thousands of habits. So know what helps you outside of your training hours as well. Sleep, nutrition, water, good people around you.
Wine.
Not wine. Apart from if you're idea creating. But put time and effort into the habits that will create better training habits as well.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want specific help to what your goals are, feel free to message me on Instagram. I'm not saying I know all the answers, but I will do my best to help you. If there's a specific goal you're trying to reach and you think you need to know, like, oh, what can I do to get the best out of the training? This is the situation I'm in. Then I will help. If you're a college student, then make sure that you're putting your 100% into college. It's quite simple. Like, give it your all, because it's only going to get harder when you leave. Even if you think it's the shit that you don't want to do and you don't like. I never wanted to do anything but be a commercial dancer, so I never went to boys ballet. For my Barbie audition, it would have been beneficial if I went to boys ballet. So just invest in everything. It's only going to help you. Like, what's the harm in knowing too many skills that you've already paid for if you're at college, or you're already paying for, or mummy and daddy is? Like, there's no harm in knowing too much. So double down, bet on yourself.
Triple down.
You're better being over-prepared than under-prepared. Yeah?
Yeah? Well, I don't know. I'm not a trained dancer.
This is a dope question from Mr. Bull Change. Can Jake do an LV?
You're such a cunt.
I can't believe you said that word. So you best beep that out. That's some editing for you to do now. You need to beep that word out.
Do I need to?
Yeah, that's cancel worthy.
Is it?
Yeah. Can you?
No.
What's an LV?
I know what it is.
What? Explain it.
It's the footwork thing in Virginia.
Yeah. How does it go? Like a moonwalk?
No.
What do
You
you
create
mean
an L with your feet.
Just an L, just like this?
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, and then what's the V?
Go on, you.
Oh, you make a V?
Yeah.
L, V. I'm funny.
You really set that one up.
Yeah, I was hoping you would
How
read.
long were you waiting
I was
for
hoping you would read them. Scarlet Cutting.
Is that Scarlet?
Very talented Scarlet. It says, can you talk about energy levels, please? That's it. In dance. Guys, we needed to be more... I know what you're asking because it's you, but
do we
if
want
I
to talk
didn't...
about atoms and molecules? Or?
Yeah. The electric energy bills are through the roof right now.
Gas? Woo!
Times 3. Turn off your Alexa.
Turn off Alexa.
Energy levels.
Buy a wood log fire.
Yeah, of course, within dance. They're different for everyone. I like to say, and everyone is going to be different, and everyone is going to have a different expectation of you. Some people are going to want you to go full out at all times, 100%. For me, full out doesn't mean 100% energy. It can mean 100% textures, 100% dynamics, 100% performance, 100% level changes, not necessarily energy. Because to me, energy is something that deteriorates. Deteriorates?
No, it means like...
Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Oh, it felt like my mouth couldn't do it. Energy to me is something that deteriorates, just like petrol does, right? Like in a car, once you run out of petrol, like your car probably isn't going to drive as efficient. In fact, it doesn't drive at all. So you got to top up. So like when you're dancing, if you're constantly using 100% energy, if that's your tool that you use to make your dance better to watch or more pleasing to watch, that means the tireder you get, the less energy you have, the worse quality your dancing is going to be. So I don't like to rely on energy as my tool. I like to use level changes, clarity, textures, dynamics, quality of movement. I use all of them to the highest potential I can, which is to an okay level. And I like to keep my energy between 65 and 85%. So I'm not like dancing in the red zone the whole time, because again, 2 hours into a show, that final number, I could be exhausted. And that means that last number is going to look like trash. So I try and conserve my energy whilst I'm dancing and being as efficient as possible, like a hybrid, like a hybrid car. Like I want to use my energy as efficiently as I can to make me, one, look the best I can, but also be able to perform the longest I can without getting burnt out and being consistent. I think you're asking about energy as in when everyone is doing a 10 and you're doing a 10, your 10 makes theirs look like a 7 because you're very full out. So I think for you, you have to just register where everyone else's energy levels are when dancing, or when how the teacher demonstrates it to you, and go, how much effort do they look like they're putting into that? I need to be able to match it. And it's just a matter of dancing next to someone and going, do we match? And if not, why? And if it's just you and one other person, sometimes you can be the right one and they can be the wrong one. So then look at the 10 people around you and go, are my energy levels matching theirs? I mean, if their ability is a 5 and yours is a 9, then don't match theirs. But if you're around people who are as talented as you, or like in the same scenario, or you're in a rehearsal and you're all for the same piece, you're not allowed to stand out from them for being too full out. Like, I don't think. Some people will say yes. I don't think you should. I think you have to be able to find a way of blending in and using your quality of movement to stand out, not your energy.
I ain't got nothing to say on it.
All right, cool. Good chat, Jake.
This is my topic.
Yeah, so I hope that helps. Scarlett. Christine Smith.
God, we got lots of questions.
Do you have any tips for starting your own dance school? Ooh.
Okay.
It's quite a hard one for me because I've never had like my own. I kind of did, but I was 17, so it was like run with me and someone else. So I made 0 business decisions and just made all teaching decisions. Now, if I was to start a dance school, I haven't, so I don't know. I have a training program, but I would look at the area I'm doing it in is a huge thing. What's the competition? Is there a demand for it? If there is a demand for it, win, go for it. If there's not a demand for it, because there's already lots of schools, what can you offer that they can't?
Yeah, how can you be better than them?
How can you be better than them? And there's this thing like with dance schools where like, I'm part of lots of dance teacher forums, and if you're listening and you don't like this, good, learn from it. They all go, this school poached my students and now my students go there. To me, do you know what that means?
They're better than
They're better than you.
Mm-hmm.
Be better.
Yeah.
Offer a better product. Be a better teacher. That's not the competition school.
That's not a student fault.
That's not the student fault, and that's not the other people's fault. That's your fault because you're not offering to a high enough standard of what they want. Mm-hmm. Maybe you are. Maybe they just don't find joy in it. That's on them. I have this thing where like, you know, like it's very like dance schooly, in the air quotes, dance schooly, that's a word, where people be like, they left my dance school to go to that dance school and they get in a rut about it. And I'm like, or like they don't want to come to this dance school anymore. They want to go and train somewhere else. And I'm like, yeah, but surely that's either a sign that you've done your job really well and they're ready to move on to the next level,
bigger thing, yeah.
Move on to a bigger thing, and you should be proud of them. Or they're wanting to try new things and they're wanting to try new stuff so they can be more open-minded. That's also another sign that you've done.
It's a big ego thing.
But that's also another sign that you've done something well.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're training them to be open-minded and try and learn new stuff, not do the same shit over and over again. And or you're not giving a good enough product and they want to try something new.
And I think if they stay at your school and then go train somewhere else as well, like in my mind, you should be encouraging of them to train in as many different regions and teachers as possible.
Like, for example, we've gone well off the topic of your question, but my training program, say Jake comes to my training program for 5 months, 6 months, and then goes to me, do you know what? I'm not going to do this month because I want to go and do Ricky Jinx's program. I'm not going to go, why? I'm going to go, dope, okay, bro. Dude. Good for you. Like, go and try something new. My goal is not for Jake to... As a business aspect, my goal is for Jake to stay and take all his money, right? theoretically, that's what you want as a business. But also, do you know what my goal is? Jake to go off and thrive and be so successful. My goal is for him to leave the nest and go and do all these amazing things and be successful. That means I don't need his money. I need everybody who's thinking about coming to me to see what I've helped develop.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go, wow, Kane must be a great fucking teacher because Jake has trained with him.
He was awful.
Because Jake has trained with him for 5 months, and now he's gone from doing an intermediate program or intermediate class to do an advanced class.
I think to kind of latch onto that, like from a branding perspective, is really have a clear picture in your mind of what your brand is and what it represents. Like, don't shoot in the dark. Like, really go, like, if you were to bottom line your brand in one sentence, what does that look like? And then stick to that. Like, if your brand as a dance school is to train people to professional level, then have that at the forefront of your mind. So then your decision making is surrounded that.
Yeah.
Because I think so many people, like, I see so many brands where their branding message is mixed and they don't know how to make decisions surrounding that consistently. Like Kane's, for example, like his brand image is really clear and he's consistent with that, which means the brand is successful. So before you get started, write down, like, in one sentence, what does my brand represent?
Yeah. So in regards to back to opening your own dance school, is there a need for it? What's your forte? What's your skill set? Is your skill set tap dancing? If it is, then don't offer ballet. Like, go with your best foot forward, show your best thing. So offer whatever your main skill set is first. And then if say you're a 5 at ballet and contemporary, but you're a 9 at tap dancing, teach tap dancing and then bring someone in of a high level to teach that other thing. It's going to cost you money in that moment, but it's going to make your school look better. You're going with your best foot forward, which is Jake's ultimate saying. Like, for me, I've never tried filming anything. I've never tried editing anything. I've never tried, because it's all way out of my ability and my wanting to learn. So instead, I try and bring people in who can do this stuff. I could try and teach a jazz funk combo at my program because I can dance jazz funk, and I could probably create a jazz funk combo. But is it my forte? No. So let me bring in Cisco, whose forte it is.
Yeah, don't be afraid to hire people in. Like, one of the worst business decisions is to think you can do everything.
Yeah, like I would never teach popping. Can I pop? Merely. I can lock. Would I teach locking? I might have like an 8 count or 4 counts in a combo, but I'm not going to stand there and do locking drills with you. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I just think know what you're offering, and then do your marketing. Like, Sean Smith opened the dance school in Redditch, and he for like weeks and weeks would go up and get a bunch of dancers together and busk in the Redditch shopping center and put on little dance performances and hand out flyers. Really? So he was already giving someone like a taster, or
this is
like
what we do,
a trial, or them to be able to see, like, this is what we do and this is what we offer. Just like when you want to go and buy something, say you go to an ice cream shop and you're like, oh, that flavor sounds nice. Oh, I don't just want to buy it though. And they go, here you go, have a trial, have a taster. And you try it and you see if you like it or not.
I want
like,
that shit.
You could maybe offer a taster class. Like, you could do your first class for free. It's going to cost you £30 for hall hire. But that £30 could generate you 30 more people because people are willing to try it for free. And if you believe in your product enough, then you'll know that you're not at a loss. Like, I would happily, if I was opening a dance school, offer a first class free because I believe in myself enough that I know they're going to enjoy it and they're going to sign up. If you don't believe in yourself that they're going to sign up, then you're going to feel like you're at a loss. Whereas for me, I wouldn't feel like I'm going to lose because I believe in my product.
And I think last thing, never make excuses. I'm talking from a very like build a business perspective. If you find you're making excuses for something, you know, if your dance company isn't working the way it is, or you're losing students to another dance company, like if you find yourself creating an excuse, you work out why you're giving that excuse and then find a solution. Like making businesses is 95% problem solving. Yeah, and don't be a pussy.
Nice. We've got quite a few more to go.
How many?
Yeah. How are we doing on
for?
time? What's that say? Oh, okay, we're good. We can get through a few more. This is from my friend Alice. I taught at FaZe the week before last, and I was talking about sacrifices that I'd made throughout my career to achieve my goals. And her question was, do you feel, looking back at your last 10 years, all the sacrifices like not drinking, not going out with people, waking up at 6 a.m. to go to the gym, missing special family occasions and stuff was worth it? Yes, 100%. Because I might not be where I am right now.
You wouldn't be.
I might not have had the career I have. I might not have the skill set I've had. Do I regret some of them? Missing some things? Yes. Like, again, to go deep, like, I wish I'd spent more time with my brother. I wish I had a relationship with my brother. That's way more important than going to an audition. But, you know, that was a very extreme
and rare case.
Rare circumstance. Not as rare as we'd like. But, you know, it's an extreme. I'm so slouched. I'm way too comfortable right now. But, like, do I regret not going out and partying? Sometimes. Sometimes I look at, like, my time in LA and I think, oh, maybe if I'd gone out and gone to Federal that one night, I would have built a relationship with someone and networked a bit better and got a new opportunity. But at the same time, I don't know. So I kind of try not to live in regret, because what's the point? Like...
Regret the experiences you never learned from.
Like, I don't know, because I don't know what the outcome could be. So I just...
What's the point of thinking that way?
What's the point in thinking of it? I'm only going to be, like, disappointed. Like... Yeah, I don't really... I'm so stuck. And the microphone has dropped and I just feel like I'm down here. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't regret the sacrifices. I feel like they've all made me who I am right now. And they've all given me the life experiences that I have. But...
I enjoy the person that you are today.
And I enjoy the person I am today through mistakes and learning and lots and lots of mistakes I've made. And I enjoy who I am now because of learning from those. But I do think if I could go back and change it, I might have had a bit more of a human aspect to me instead of just a dancer aspect. Because everything was dance forward, not human forward. I only ever thought about what my dance life would be or my job would be or stuff like that. I never thought about my human aspect. I never went to Malibu Beach. I lived in LA for 3 years and I went to Malibu Beach. So when I'm 50 and my kids go, you lived in LA, oh my God, what was Malibu like? I can't tell you.
Well, when you
but I can tell you what Millennium was like. Every corridor in Millennium, every photo, like everything on the wall, because I spent my life there or like at the gym. I can tell you what all the gyms are like in North Hollywood. Like I can tell you what all the hikes are like. You know what I mean? So there are some elements that, I wish I'd done a bit more, but I don't regret sacrificing stuff.
It's kind of like the butterfly effect, isn't it? It's like you never know. Butterfly effect, do you know what it is?
No.
It's like one small change in history could have a massive cascading effect.
Yeah. Well, I think about that a lot.
Right.
Like
in your own life, or just
Well,
context?
like I spoke to you about it the other day. No, like I said no to Chris Brown, like to Chris Brown New Flame video. I think about that almost every day.
Do you?
Yeah, almost every day I go, fuck, imagine I'd done it. Like, where would my life be now? And I love my life now, so I'm not moaning. But I do think, wow, I could have had that one experience, which I've never had the chance to get since. You know?
Do you actually think about it every day?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So it really bothered you? Because that was quite a while ago, wasn't it?
Ages ago. I always think about it as in... Because, dude, I think about how fortunate I am all the time. Every day I think about how amazing my life is and how lucky I am, but also how much I've worked my ass off to achieve it. So I don't think I'm lucky with my life. I think I'm lucky with the people I've had help me and influence me and be around me.
But that's you thing.
But I've also worked my ass off to do it.
And built relationships with those people.
Yeah, but I do think, like, the things I've never got to achieve, and some of them were so close, you know? This is like gone flaccid now.
Unscrew that top one and then think. So turn it towards you and then lift it up.
This is really interesting for the listeners.
So a quote that I always go back to is, if you don't sacrifice now, what you want will be the sacrifice later. And I'm a big believer of, like, if you want to be a 1%er in any region of life,
you have to sacrifice.
You have to do what the 99%, I said this earlier, that 99% of the population isn't doing.
Yeah.
And normally that is missing the parties, not watching Netflix, like not listening to radio and listening to podcasts, and etc. Like, there's so many things you probably do have to let go of to become a 1%er.
Yeah, like The Rock didn't become The Rock by going to parties.
No,
and like
he was in the gym for 3 hours a day eating 10,000 calories.
Yeah, but like also like working, like putting in the work on planes, doing 4 jobs a day. I'm not saying that that's the right thing, but
if that's the life that you want.
That's the life you want. If you just want to be like content, have an amazing family and an amazing relationship with your partner, then spend all your time with your partner and do stuff together. Like it just depends on what the goal is. So no, I don't regret my sacrifices. Some of them, but not really. Do you regret any of your sacrifices? You're still young, but you've made loads of sacrifices.
I've sacrificed a lot to kind of get where I am now, and still making a lot of sacrifices. I don't think I regret any of them because I thoroughly enjoy my life. I get to work every single day on shit that I enjoy. I wish I took advantage of my youth. I know I'm still young, but like for the last I'm 26 now, and for the last 4 years I've worked solidly pretty much every single day on myself. But I wouldn't regret it because I thoroughly enjoy me. And that's
enjoy the work you do.
And I enjoy the work I do. And I think that's such a rare experience in life, is that you get to wake up and do whatever you want every day.
Yeah.
But I've worked my fucking ass off to get here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've got a few more still.
Good question.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Should we do one more?
Yeah.
Okay. How to move past a mental block in dancing, especially in college when you've almost like lost your passion but feel a bit of a... Well... especially in college when you've almost...
Find out next week. Dun, dun, dun.
How to move past a mental block in dancing, especially when... especially in college when you've almost like not lost your passion but feel a bit of a loss with it and start to question yourself.
How do you find your passion back?
Why do I find it so hard to read people? Because it's not a question, it's like a sentence. I'm like trying to question it. So how do you move past the mental block at college when you feel like you're on a bit of a downer with it, you're falling out of love?
Have you ever experienced that?
Yeah, loads of times. Not even in college. I experienced it as a working dancer, everything. Do something that makes you remember why you love it. Go and do stuff that makes you happy. So the thing is with college, like you do it every day, right? Something that you get all the time and you do every day, when you love it stops feeling like a treat. If you love Ben and Jerry's ice cream and you normally have it once a month and it feels like a treat, and then you have it every day, you're going to get sick of it. Mm-hmm. It's not going to feel like a treat anymore. And with dance college, I know before you went to dance college, you probably danced in an evening a few days a week. And now you dance all fucking day, every day, even when you don't want to. Because it's not the choice anymore. It's no longer just your hobby. That's the thing, and I've said this before about when it becomes your job. When your passion has to pay your bills, it can become your stress because it becomes your job. I know this isn't your job right now, but it also is becoming your every single day life. So it's not like it's not that thing that makes your day better anymore because it is just your day.
It's just your day.
That's just your day. It's everyday life. So, the novelty wears off. So I would say go and do something that makes you love it again. Whether that be a class on a Sunday in London, travel up and go and take John Graham's class, or
plug.
I am the best friend ever.
You are you're a good plugger.
Yeah, good plugger. You're a butt plugger.
I was going to say plug, and I was like, maybe not.
Go and do something that makes you fall in love with it again. Go and watch a concert. If you're in musical theatre college and you're beginning to fucking hate doing musical theatre, go and watch Wicked. Go and watch Lucy Jones be the new Alphabet and go, oh my God, that's why I do this, because I want to be that person. Go inspire yourself. Like, so for me, I feel like, I teach a lot. There are days all the time that I don't want to teach. But like, I use external motivations now because it's not very often I look at a dance job and go, I'm working towards that thing. So say I'm going to go teach 10-year-olds tonight and I'm not in the mood for it. I go, wow, look at that car that I want to buy next year. Like, that's going to help me get there. Like, that motivates me. And I know everyone's driven by a different motivator, but like, mine used to be, look at that job. Mine used to be like, oh my God, like, I want to do what like Cisco Gomez is doing. Like, I wanted to be that person. I want to do those jobs. So I just knew that my training, or I'd go and invest in these classes, and being broke and feeling like dance life was shit would be worth it to achieve that thing. Like, if I said to you, you have to get through college for the next 3 years dancing every single day, even though you're not in the mood, but I guarantee you will achieve your dream at the end of it, you would do it. The only thing that makes you question it is because it's the unknown. It's
Self-doubt as well.
it could not work. You know what I mean? And for most people, unfortunately, it doesn't. So you just have to go in with the mentality and go, I'm doing this for this. And the more effort I put in, the more likely that is going to happen. Because the less effort you put in and the more you fall out of love with it, the less likely that dream is going to happen. Right? Like if you look at it on the chances of it happening, the more effort you put in now, the better it's going to pay off later. It's like, I come back to exercise all the time because it's so easy. But like if you go to the gym like 5 hours out of a week, but you don't want to, you're less likely to look like that girl in a magazine that you want to look like. Or like, do you know what I mean? Or like I'm less likely to look like Brian Tanaka if I just sit on my ass and don't put any effort in to look like it. It's the same with dance. So if you find that thing that motivates you, go and look at the people that you want to be like. Go and find the things that inspire you.
Don't be short-minded in it. Like recognize that the efforts and passion you put in now equals your paycheck later. We talked about this quite recently. I said, if I told you to wake up at 6 a.m. every morning and pay you £100, you're going to be up at 5:59 with a big smile on your face. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but knowing...
Well, you will. You'll be with a big smile on your face until it becomes an everyday thing.
No, because if you're getting 100 quid
I know,
a day, I'm up at 5:30.
I know, but once you've done that for a year, then that 100 quid just feels like 100 quid.
It feels like another 100 quid. Yeah, absolutely.
You adapt.
So what I was going to say onto that is like, learn to recognize that by waking up or doing the stuff now will equal a paycheck later. And the second thing I was going to say is spin it up. Like constantly adapt and change so it doesn't become like a plateau.
Yeah.
Which is what we do in fitness, what we do in business, anything.
Yeah. Find the thing that makes you love it.
Yeah. Because if me and you went to the same cafe every day, we'd get bored of it.
Yeah, 100%.
But if we go to a different cafe...
yeah, it's still a cafe.
Get a different coffee.
Yeah. Like, so just maybe, you know...
Spin it up.
Your college training is going to stay how it is. Like, that's the faculty or that's the training that they set for you. You've only got to do it for 3 years. Like, it ain't that long on the scheme of things. So in your free time, go and do something that maybe switches up your training or give you a different mindset to think about it.
I like the idea of going to a show or something that's quite smart.
Yeah.
Find inspirations.
Yeah. Like that's mine. Like sometimes I just go on YouTube live performances of like Justin Bieber or Justin Timberlake and I watch it and I'm so inspired. Like, you know what I mean? That's a big thing for me. Last one from Kyle Meller. Are you ready?
Hit me.
Best way to network and how to identify the people you need to be networking with. That's a solid, good question.
That's a hard question to answer as well.
Best way to network depends on who you're networking with.
Read the book. No, go on, you go.
No, you go.
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
What's it called?
In the digital age. How to Win Friends and Influence People in the Digital Age.
Nice.
Really, really good book. It basically tells you how to be a good person. Yeah.
So mine would be figure out who you need to network with first, right? So the question you asked was the wrong way around. I would say figure out who you need to network with first. Let's say you want to become a lead in person in the West End. No, I shouldn't have said that because I don't know how to do that. But what I know is we'll carry across into all avenues. Let's say I want to become a working dancer. I need to identify who are the working dancers, who are the people that can get me to meet those people, or are the choreographers teaching classes? Are there assistants teaching classes? What things do they like? So if you're, I'm choreographing a job for Justin Bieber. Let's go. What do you know about me? Okay, let's use you. You're my networker. You're the person that's trying to network with me. What do you know about me, Kane, as a person?
You love Jordan shoes.
Cool. That's a great thing to know, right?
So I'm going to wear a pair of Jordans to your class because I know you'll probably pick me out for it. Not
Nice.
pick me out, but you'll go, hey, nice Jordans. It's a conversation starter.
It's a conversation starter. It is most definitely something that I know in me, because Jake does. If I see someone with nice shoes on, I go, yo, nice shoes. Because I love shoes. It means something to me. Therefore, we've already made some sort of connection. We already made some sort of network. Then you kill class, and I go, yo, you're dope. Great job.
Thanks, bud.
I like your shoes. Where'd you get them from? That becomes a network. That becomes a conversation. Or Jake could go to me, yo, so you got the Jordan 3s on today. They're dope. And I go, thanks, man. You know your shoes. Like little things. And I'm not saying be fake, Because if you have no interest in shoes, don't pretend you do.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna catch you out.
Yeah.
But find maybe the thing that you have in
Common
similar
ground.
interest, common ground, and maybe sometimes you can't find that. So it might just be showing up to class. Like I think we've done an entire an episode on networking. I think right. We've definitely spoke about
touched on
this
it briefly.
Like even if it's just going to that person's class, be regular. Always be at the front. Always be on time. Always make a good impression. Always be a positive beacon in the room. Like all these things are going to help you network with that person once you figured out who that person is. There's no point me networking with there's no point because there's always points because you never know what opportunities might come. But there's no point me networking with the casting director for Matilda, the musical, when I want to go and dance for Justin Bieber. You know, like...
There might be a loose connection.
There might be a loose connection there, but the chances are not. So I don't need to go and put all my eggs into that basket. I need to go, when's Nick Demora in town? He's Justin Bieber's choreographer and creative director. I'd love to take his class. I need him to see me dance because I would love that opportunity. Like, you have to at least get in front of him first. You know, and social media now, networking has never been so easy. It's never been so hard to be recognized because people are bombarded with networking.
Yeah.
But it's also so easy. Like Fly Styles commented on our Instagram post this week, who is Chris Brown's choreographer, one of his choreographers. He's an absolute icon. He commented on one of our posts this week. That happened because he posted a video of him doing some choreo and I put fresh and then I shared it on my story. He went, who's commented on my Instagram post? He's clicked on my post and gone, this is my assumption. I remember him from LA, from auditioning from me. Followed me. Then he looked at my page and commented on our post. Like I didn't kiss his ass. I didn't slide in his DMs. I didn't do anything. I just genuinely shared a post because I thought it was dope and I commented on it.
And that came from a place of being genuine.
Yeah.
It didn't come from a place of being like fake and like I want to jump into business.
No, and actually the sharing it came from a place of I think this is dope. I want everyone I teach to watch this.
Yeah.
And this is what inspires me.
I think on the topic of like how to network, I think be consistently nice and consistently give first. Like
yeah, don't try and receive first.
No, like be the giver. Giggly. Invest in other people first. Like double down on someone and they'll probably double down back on you. And if they don't, sack them off. Yeah, you know I mean, like if you're giving and they're taking and not giving back, just sack it off. Like me and Ken were having this exact same conversation today. We invest heavily financially through financials, through time, through like
effort in each other
because it's a two-way street. So like, be the first person to put the first brick in the bridge.
And by you going to class is you investing in that person. So I say this with my training program. Like say you do my training program once and you never do it again. Like you've invested in me. You've invested in your time, in your money and your trust in me. You have my trust, time and effort now. You always have that. That doesn't expire. That's something now I'm like, do you know what? Like I appreciate you and it's now vice versa and it's back. And that's the same as like Cisco said it, I think on our podcast with him or like, I don't know if he said it on air or off air, but like I at 18 years old would travel all the way to London every Sunday to learn from Cisco and Kim. I invested my time, my effort and my money. Now that's why they're so willing to help me and invest into me and do my podcasts and teach at my training programs because they know that I've invested into them. You know?
100%. Yeah. And I think just be genuine. Like we be touching on it earlier.
Without
like,
being a kiss ass.
Yeah, like just be genuine within like who you are. And if my mindset is always, if I'm being 100% me, the people that I want in my life will come to me with my effort. But like I have to put effort into other people as well. But like if I'm being fake me, I'm not going to attract the people that I want in my life. Not that I believe in attraction, all that bullshit. But like, I probably just offend a lot of people, but whatever. But like being genuinely you will bring the genuine people back in your life.
Yeah. Sweet. That's all of them.
Yeah.
Good
Dude,
job.
that was a good episode.
That was fun. Thanks for the questions, team.
I thought you were going to leave
really
me hanging.
appreciate what you say.
I thought you were going to leave me hanging. I was like, mum.
I should have. Should just pretend we did. Ready? Do it?
No,
come on.
No, because you're going to make a reel out of this.
No, okay, we'll do it the other way around. Ready? I'll do it to you. Yo, good job, bro. What the fuck, man? Nice. You should have left me hanging though.
I can't leave a brother hanging.
Thank you for the questions. They're truly appreciated. I hope we answered them kind of well. I feel like we went off topic a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Send more in. We'll answer them. If we only get like 4 or 5 together, maybe we won't do that many. Maybe we'll limit it to like
one a month or whatever.
3 questions, 4 questions. But yeah, thank you so much. We have
Question
a guest
of the week.
we have a guest in the studio next week. I'm very excited.
Oh yeah.
Not gonna tell you who it is, just in case they flibbity flop, because people flop quite a lot on us. That's what we can tell you. People flop a lot on us.
One look.
Yeah, people let us down. So anywho.
Oh, that's a good part of networking. Don't let people down.
Don't let people down.
Don't let people down. If you say that, if you're saying you're going to be somewhere, turn the fuck up.
Say it again.
Turn the fuck up.
Say it again.
One more time for the people in the back.
Turn your back up. Anyway, yeah.
Backing singer.
Please subscribe to us on YouTube if you're listening. It's at The Ins and Outs. I think that's it.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
The Ins and Out podcast.
The Ins and Out podcast.
Ins and Outs.
Follow us on Instagram if you're not already. Please leave us a rating and review on iTunes. And I think you can do the same on Spotify if you listen on that. That'll help us drastically. Thank you very much. And yeah, let us know what you want to know, who you want to hear from. Please interact with us. We love interacting with you. Once we reach 100 subscribers on YouTube, we will release a free tutorial. I want to say try and do it by the time you listen to this, but we haven't filmed it yet, so it won't be up straight away. But once we get it filmed, which will be next Tuesday,
Next week, won't it?
It will be up on the Wednesday. Peace out. Much love.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye. It's the Ins and Outs show with Kane and Jake. We just dropped your knowledge bombs, okay? Now you're gonna go back to your day. I hope you feel educated and inspired. Hooray. Bars.